Hello, everyone. Welcome to Unit 2. Welcome to Unit 2. Unit 2 will be going over We'll be going over the United States. So let's jump in. So first of all, we have our country, the United States. The United States is located in the northern hemisphere of the world. We're located on the continent of North America. Now, remember, North America does not only comprise of the United States, but it also comprises of Canada and Mexico. So we're a part of a bigger whole. Now, the United States is made up of multiple different regions. We have on the East Coast, we got the Atlantic. In the north, we got the Great Lakes. To the south, we got the Gulf of Mexico. To the west, we have our Great Plains, where you'll get a lot of our corn and wheat and things like that. And then to the furthest west, in California, we have the Pacific Ocean. And then we got our territories and our states of Hawaii and Alaska, and our greater territories out in the ocean, like the Mariana Islands or Guam. So we got plenty of vast territories for the United States. One of the major things that we have in regards to physical geography are the Appalachian Mountains. Those Appalachian Mountains. The Appalachian Mountains are mountains located on the East Coast, which stretch from north to south. So they stretch from northern Canada and then go all the way down to the valleys in the south of Georgia and the Carolinas and Tennessee, and pretty much stopping there. So the Appalachian Mountains, back in the day when our country was first founded, that was the major border. When you had the first 13 colonies, you should have learned this in 8th grade. When we had the first 13 colonies, the major border was the Appalachian Mountains. So that's a major important thing in our country because a lot of people settled in the Appalachian Mountains, and a lot of people are settled there at the current period. So the Appalachian Mountains serve as a memorial for the United States in its early colonial roots, and still serve a purpose today. Next, we have our Great Lakes. We have our Great Lakes. Our Great Lakes are very important because they're located in the northern portion of America. The Great Lakes include Lake Superior, Lake Michigan, Lake Huron, things like that. So those lakes are very important because, one, they are access to fresh water. They're access to fresh water. That fresh water is good for us because we get to drink it. Thousands of years ago, glaciers were on this continent, and those glaciers melted. Those melted glaciers formed what are now known as the Great Lakes. The Great Lakes also serve as a purpose for us to travel. So if you need something going from Chicago to, let's say, New York City, and you don't want to go by land, you can just take a boat up Lake Michigan, down the Erie Canal, which we invented, and then that goes into the rivers that connect it to New York City. So trade is made more efficient and a lot better with the Great Lakes. Next, we have the Mississippi River. Mississippi River. If you don't know how to spell Mississippi, a great way to do it is Mississippi. Mississippi River is a river that goes from north to south. North to south. Mississippi River, as our country expanded from 1776 all the way to the present, as the country expanded and we went further west, more of these things became more important. The Mississippi River still is important to this day because, again, it connects north to south. So you can trade, let's say you want some gumbo or you want some shrimp from Louisiana. That shrimp is going to be packed up and put in a boat, and then it travels up the river up into Mississippi. So if you're living in Minnesota or you're living in Illinois, that river passes through, and then you can get your shrimp or whatever you need. So it's a great source of transportation. And also, the rivers are a great source of fresh water. All right. So there is the Mississippi. we continue on with the coastal regions of the United States. The coastal regions of the United States, especially if we're looking at the coast and if we're looking at the plains. In America, our plains are pretty much flat regions that don't really have a lot of mountains, flat, and not a lot of mountains. Further we move west, we're looking at more rugged. We're looking west, we're looking at the Rocky Mountains. So if you're looking at a map of the East Coast, it goes ocean, Atlantic, then high elevation in the Appalachian Mountains, then down flat again in the flat plains, and then up again with the Rocky Mountains, and then down again that rugged coast on the West Coast. And then on the West Coast, you got California, Washington, and Oregon, and you got the Pacific Ocean out there. So, and then they have nice, cool temperatures in those regions. Next, we get Alaska. Remember, our country, we bought Alaska from Russia back in the 1860s. When we bought Alaska from Russia, we were like, oh, well, this is a frozen tundra. What can we get out of this? Later, we found out we got gold, silver, oil. So we got a great deal. We only sold it for $15 million, and we made a ton of money off of that. So Alaska, frozen tundra, very cold. But is located in a place where there's a lot of forest. There's a lot of marine life. A lot of our salmon that we get comes from Alaska, so that's great. Then if we're looking down in the Pacific, we go to a nice tropical place, the 50th state of America, the United States. We got a nice tropical region of Hawaii. Hawaii is made up of multiple islands. Those islands are volcanic, so they're made from like volcanic eruptions in the Pacific Ocean. Very tropical, very good for marine life, very nice area. This region of the country is useful because it's right in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. So let's say you're going from California, make a little stop at Hawaii. You can pack up, put some oil in your tankers, and you can keep going across the ocean. So it's a perfect geographical location. Alrighty, that is lesson 1 for the United States, physical geography. I'll see you for the next lesson.